If you own a travel trailer and you're a solo RV camper, and if you're even a little bit nervous about setting up your travel trailer once you get to a campsite, at the end of this video, you're gonna feel like a pro, even if you've never done this before, because I'm gonna walk you step by step through the process. Everything from what you need to do before you even pull your camper into your campsite to how to unhitch your camper from your tow vehicle. Oh, and I'm also going to tell you how to download my foolproof travel trailer setup checklist for free, so you'll have it with you once you get to your campsite. It's like having a pro right beside you, so you don't have to stress about second guessing yourself. I keep this checklist in the glove compartment of my tow vehicle, and I rely upon it all the time. Welcome back, small camper camping fam, or if you're new here, hi, I'm Randy, and every Thursday I share tips and tricks to help you make big memories in your small camper. Hey, quick heads up about water. If your campsite doesn't have hookups, you're definitely going to want to fill your fresh water tank before you arrive at your campsite. There's nothing worse than getting all settled in and then realizing you don't have any water. The very first thing you need to do, even before you pull your camper into your campsite, is you need to get out and take a look at the campsite. Here's why. This is my campsite. It's a nice big campsite, but here's a couple of things to keep in mind. And the first is you want to make sure when you pull in, you're pulling into the most level part of the campsite. I don't know if you can see, but there's a little bit of a grade here and then it slopes down. I don't want to pull my camper in right on that slope. So I want to pull my camper in over here. The other thing I like to do is I like to park my camper on the side of the campsite. So if my camper is parked over here, I've got all of this room and all of the space. It just makes my campsite feel bigger. But if I were to pull right in here, my campsite would feel that much smaller. So always take advantage of the space that you have. Another really important thing to always consider when you're determining where you want to park your camper is that all hoses and cords that you plan on using to connect to hookups can actually reach the hookups. And you absolutely want to do this before you unhitch your camper, because otherwise you're just going to have to hitch it back up to move it over where it needs to be. And if you happen to have slide outs, you also want to make sure that there's enough room for your slide outs to completely open before you unhitch. If you're camping with the dog like I am, I'd let him get out and sniff and look around the campsite while I'm getting myself acclimated with the campsite. But when it's time to back my trailer into the campsite, I'm going to put him in the tow vehicle. I just don't need any distractions when I'm trying to back up my camper. Okay, now that Thor's in the truck, I'm getting ready to back my camper into the site. But before I do back my camper into the campsite, I wanted to let you know the biggest thing I've learned about this is take your time. Don't feel pressured. Don't be in a rush because you think somebody's watching you and judging you. No one cares. Stay focused on positioning your travel trailer at the level spot you found. And get out and look if you need to. Okay, let's go see how level the camper is. The bubble on my bubble level is in the middle, so that means I'm level side to side. Having these bubble levels right here is so convenient, especially when I'm setting up my camper all by myself. That way, I'm not running back and forth inside of my camper every time I make an adjustment to see if it's level. They're just peel and stick, so they're super easy to apply to. I'll leave an Amazon link to these and the other things that make it easier for me to set up my campsite in the video description below. Huge time saver. If your camper isn't level from side to side, then you're going to use levelers. And to do this, you just place the leveler behind the tire on the side of the camper that you want to lift up to make it level. Then you back up your tow vehicle to push your trailer up onto the leveler. These are the curved levelers that I've been using, and I really like them. I used to use wood blocks to level my camper, but those were really frustrating for me to use. These curved levelers have made doing this so much easier when I'm by myself. The next step is really important, and you always want to do this before you unhitch your camper from your tow vehicle. You're going to use wheel chocks to prevent your travel trailer from rolling away. You're going to slide the chock up against the tire and then put a little pressure on it to make sure that it's secure. You always want to place your chocks in the best position to prevent your camper from rolling. So, for example, if your travel trailer is on a level grade, then you want to position the chocks on the front and the back of a single wheel. However, if you're on a downhill grade, you want to position a chock in front of each one of the wheels. Or if you're on an uphill grade, you want to position a chock behind each one of the wheels. The next step is to place a block or a board underneath your travel trailer's jack, and this will help distribute the weight and prevent the jack from sinking into soft ground and to provide greater stability for your trailer. My next step is I need to remove my sway bars. Of course, if you don't have the exact weight distribution and sway bar system that I use, this process is going to be different for you. But now's the time that you do this. But I have to tell you, I bought this Camco Ease Lift Recurve R3 because of how easy it was to use. And for someone who knew nothing about sway bars and weight distribution systems, not only does it make me feel safer when I'm towing my travel trailer, but it's been easy for me to attach it and remove it all by myself. Now I'm just going to lower the jack to take the pressure off the hitch. Oh, we're making so much progress. Now we're going to disconnect the chains, the 7-way power cord, the breakaway cable, and remove the ball coupler safety pin. Sometimes these chains can be a little tricky for me to get off. This cover for your jack is super handy. It's not a must-have, but in addition to protecting the jack from weather, I like some of the features it has, like the ability to put my chains there. This is your 7-way pin. So to disconnect this, you just simply pull it out. And now I'm going to remove the ball coupler safety pin. I'm just going to attach it to one of the chains here, like that. That way I won't lose it. And this right here, this cord that's attached to this is your breakaway cord. And it gets attached right underneath here. So you just need to unattach this. Then just wrap it around your jack so it doesn't get tangled up and so it's out of the way. Okay, my next step is we've got to release this coupler ball that's right underneath there. Can you see it? This coupler ball right underneath there from the hitch. So to do that, first I need to release the coupler ball. Now I can raise the tongue jack so it releases from the ball. Next, we're going to move the tow vehicle forward. So obviously we want to make sure that the ball is lower than the hitch so that it's got clearance so that there's no problems when we move forward. Woohoo! Now you're unhitched. But there's still a few steps that we need to do. And our next step is to level the trailer from front to back. So we want to make sure it's level from front to back. And to do this, if you're using a bubble level, you would put it in this direction. So the ends are facing front to back. And then you're going to take a look and see. And oh my gosh, we are level front to back without even doing anything. Or if you use stick-on levels like I do, I can check and peek right there. Now, let's say we're not level from front to back because this is just kind of a coincidence. What you're going to do is lower or raise your tongue jack. And by lowering it or raising it, it's going to get you level. Every camper comes with stabilizers. They're going to be on all 4 corners of the camper. And what we need to do is we need to lower these to the ground. But first, what we need to do is we need to use blocks or wood or something to place underneath the stabilizers. I'm going to use these guys right here. These are going to help give support to the stabilizers. So you just place them underneath each one of the stabilizers. Then use a crank to lower each one of the stablers onto the leveling block. Keep in mind, stablers are not for leveling your trailer. You want to simply lower them until they touch the leveling block and tighten them just enough to prevent rocking motion inside the trailer. If your camping spot has electric, water, or sewer hookups, now's the time to hook everything up. Then turn on your propane. I have to tell you, over the past several years, I've done my fair share of solo camping, but I still rely on my stress-free small camper setup checklist. It just gives me peace of mind. I highly encourage you to use this checklist. And just go to randysadventures.com/setup checklist. I'll also leave a link to it in the video description below.